Earnie Sears III. I'm a senior here at USC. I'm graduating in the spring this year, so I'm a senior, and yeah, I'm a communications major as well.
Nice. So I know you're on the track team, and I feel like USC's track team is, well, not I feel, I know that it's one of the best programs, not only at USC, but across the nation. And so I just kind of wanted to ask your experience with training with, Olympians such as Michael Norman, Rai Benjamin. Um, do you feel like there's a pressure to succeed at a high level?
Hmm. I don't think there's a pressure necessarily. I feel like you said, like SC's like elite across the board in track, and just like one of the best programs in the country. So I feel like once you kind of come here, you kind of get a sense of the the level of everybody's at, and like the level that people want to reach in a sense. So I don't think it's pressure. I think it can be for some people, but for me, it kind of like pushed me to just want to be great in a sense. Like freshman year, I came in and it was like Mike and Rye, the 4x4. We had Randall, and like they were all big name people producing big numbers and like all these times and stuff. So I kind of got a glimpse of just seeing like what it took to be great from their aspect in their when they were in college, and then now they're all professionals, and it's like just kind of just taking things that habits they've done or like mindset how they took like how they went into things and just like took that with me through my 4 years, and I feel like it's helped a lot.
So, what was that transition like from high school to now collegiate sports? I know you're an LA native, but you know the platform is different, like you're saying, because now you're training with Olympians, and high school. It's just
Yeah, his high school.
right.
like I
It's
feel
easy to be the best. I feel like
yeah, it is. Yeah, in high school I feel like you can get away with like doing mediocre in certain aspects of things like
Mm.
training, whether it be eating, rest, like recovery and all that. So like transitioning from that to college, like my freshman year, it was like first semester was probably the hardest, just getting used to like the training, like getting up on time, being in these places at the exact time, and just like upholding the standard that everybody has already. So I think that at first was just like not hard, but just more like I have to do this. Like it was just more quicker. Everything is just faster paced. So you just kind of get used to the speed of things, and then once that slows down for you, everything kind of seamlessly like transitions better. So
Yeah,
it's a hard transition, but it was just like I don't think I was expecting as much as I got in a sense.
yeah. I think like a big part of the transition part is making connections on whatever team you're in.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like with track and field, you guys have like a unique perspective because it's one of the few collegiate sports or pro sports where men and women are, under one roster. You guys train together, you guys travel together. So how much of a family are you guys really? I know, our motto is Trojan family, but
Yeah.
what is it really like training with women as well?
I mean, we train with them, but we always train at different times, of course. But
Hmm.
like we're out there at the same time, so I feel like the track family is like is legit. It's not like a slogan, or we uphold the slogan in a sense. Like everybody knows everybody. We know people from the past teams come back and say what's up, and like we're cool with people from teams who graduated like 3 years ago. So everybody kind of stays connected still. Um, Definitely like the pros that are still here training, like I still talk to them every day, and just like traveling with the team is fun. It sucks. It doesn't suck, but it's not the same because of COVID. So like everybody's not integrated as much with each other. Like all the new freshmen don't know and hang out with all the seniors and juniors all the time. So it's like there's some lost aspects from it, but I feel like this year like they still like rivaled COVID, and like we still stayed connected, still close team. So I feel like we're still a family regardless of like the circumstances.
Yeah, you mentioned COVID, and I remember that day, like hearing from the NCAA, like sports is shut down. But I remember, I know you guys were still on the field for some time. And
Yeah.
I was just wondering, like, how did you guys navigate through COVID? You guys are, you know, mid-season at this point, and was there pushback to returning? And did you feel supported during this time? I know a lot of athletes, you know, kind of felt like a pressure to come back, or they were scared of their scholarship being taken away. There's just some talk of that, but
Yeah. Um, for us, like when it happened, it was what, March. We were at indoor nationals. We already had went through like pre-meet stuff, like ritual, like pre-practice stuff. So like I think it was like we finished our day for our workout, and then they said like we're not having championship season. And I remember it really was like I felt like it was like a whirlwind. Like I was like, there's no way this is really happening.
right.
And then for a minute, like from March till June, I kind of was like, it was like an indecisive, like, oh, we're gonna come back, we might not. And then like June, July kind of went through, August came, and it was kind of like everybody was just like on 10, kind of just waiting on the decision. And I feel like for some people, like at first for me, I didn't necessarily want to come back immediately because I was still like, I don't know about COVID. Like I don't want to risk necessarily my life on
Which
the
is
line.
understandable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is very understandable. Like a lot of people don't. Like I want to take it to the next level for track, but also my life is more valuable than track and field right
Mm.
now. But I feel like kind of like a lot of people were like still itching to come back. A lot of people were kind of on the fence, and then they made the decision around like September that we're gonna come back for training, like cohorts and all that stuff. So it kind of like released some tension, but like I was still skeptical for a while, and then we were back training. We started training up in October. Um, we haven't had no hiccups like that. I think we've had a few cases, but nothing like serious or like any outbreaks. So I think that's what is like really good is that our team is like stayed through the protocols and all that, and like kind of stayed safe, made the best decisions for themselves and for the team to like come this far into the season without having like any crazy mishaps. But
Yeah. What is campus like now? I mean, I'm not back myself, but it's like as an athlete, I feel like you guys go through a whole different type of protocol and safety procedures to make sure you guys are training safe and keeping other people safe.
yeah, it
Like I
is.
know that's a huge shift from, you're so used to
Yeah.
getting in and out, and it's
It,
like,
it's like you gotta have times to go in the training room. You gotta have your Trojan check daily. We get the COVID test twice a week. Gotta get these wristbands to get into facilities. What
mm,
else? Honestly, like the lifestyle at first, like it was super weird. Now we're used to it since it's been like 6 months. But there's just a lot of little like minuscule, like you gotta make sure you always have your Trojan check and stuff like that. Always keep your mask on. Um, just like all the different protocols we have to go through. Like groups can't mingle with other groups because say there's an outbreak. If I was hanging out with 7 other people on a different in the sprints,
mm,
they would all have to sit out or something. So like things like that are kind of like the difficult parts to work around, but we've managed to make it work. Can't
yeah,
complain.
yeah. Well, I wanted to shift gears a little because I feel like a big topic within your team was Black Lives Matter. And I think you guys were a huge part of making that present on USC's campus and really integrating athletics and, the USC community at large. And I know Anna, I know Joy did a lot of work using their platforms against racial injustice. Um, I saw like the UBSAA formed for the student athletes, Black student athletes. So I'm kind of just wondering, how do you think things changed really for athlete activism, especially on your team?
I feel like it just gave us like the not free reign, but like kind of like the freedom to just speak outwardly without having to be like, oh, it's gonna come back to my university and they're gonna do this and that. I
Mm,
feel like it was really big on our team for a lot of them to like really voice their opinions on the situations that were going on and like just like the whole umbrella of black activism and just like all the different things we have to go through and just I feel like they opened the door for other athletes and like other teams to kind of feel more comfortable saying stuff or like learn something because it's still a learning thing for a lot of people. So like I know like we had Mass being for sale, we had Anna and Joy doing UCBSA and just kind of like advocating, getting people to have seminars and all that.
yeah, the
So
backpacks, I know that was a big deal too. Like even had backlash.
all that stuff is kind of like it just opened doors for future athletes to kind of just be in their be their own selves, like be unique and like speak up for what they believe in and kind of just I don't know, I want to say like just give them the freedom to like be them in a sense.
Right.
So I feel like if it wasn't for like our not wasn't for our team to kind of like push forward, but I feel like they definitely like broke down the first barriers that
For
kind of like
sure.
for everything else.
Yeah. So do you think that there's like this responsibility for especially black athletes? Like I feel like we have to educate people, but then again, it's in our nature. We're natural leaders because we're athletes. We're go-getters. We're all of these things. But do you feel like it's a duty in a sense as an athlete, a USC athlete?
Hmm. I don't know if I want to say duty. Like some people will make it not their duty, but it's gonna make them have to portray like and lead and stuff like that. I don't necessarily think it's our job to do it, but
Mm,
we're kind of like past that hand. Like we are black, we are SC athletes, so we are gonna lead and show you things because we see a different perspective than everybody else in a sense. So I feel like you don't need to make it your duty, but you should definitely have it as a priority in some part of your life in a sense to like kind of even though you don't like I personally don't think that we should have to educate everybody because it's been 500 years for this long to be for our like all the issues we've had to deal with. So I
mm,
feel like it shouldn't be our job to educate others on things that we've gone through, but in another sense, they're not going to understand it from it coming from somebody of their race. Like they won't
exactly.
understand the real true sense of it. So I
Yeah.
feel like if we don't have to have it as a duty, but we could make it a priority to teach people at some point or like let them learn.
Yeah, definitely. With that in mind, like I want to know your experiences, the good or the bad of being a black student athlete or, even just as a black student, because I often felt like there's this disconnect. It's like the only black people I know are the athletes. And it's like, where are the black people beyond athletics at USC?
Yeah,
Because we're such a majority, I feel like, in our own little bubble.
that is very true. Jeez, my years at SC, I'm trying to think about the good and the bad. The good, I haven't really had much bad to be honest.
Good.
Like personally, I haven't had any like crazy situations on campus, off campus, where I'm like, this, if I wasn't black, this wouldn't happen type thing. But
Mm,
the idea that like we, not the idea, but like knowing like all the more of the majority of black people that I know are all athletes, like you said, because we do like we cover in a big bubble. But I feel like like the end of my freshman year, I kind of made it a point to kind of know more people outside of sports. Like I knew people when I came to orientation from baseball and like water
mm,
polo and some other sports, but I didn't really know that many black athletes at that time. And then I knew like later on, came to campus, got mingled with everybody, and then I was like, damn, I really don't have that many black friends outside of sports, like
yeah.
realistically. And then I kind of like I think sophomore year into freshman year, I kind of just started hanging out with just like non-athletics people, and it kind of like expanded my friendship group or like acquaintances just all around because you got to just meet more people. I went to like a black student meeting um, sophomore year, and I kind of met like 10, 15 people, and that 10, 15 people grew to like 30 that I knew. So I feel like you kind of have to, as an athlete, you kind of have to go out your own way to meet new people because
Exactly.
you're not gonna have the same time to just walk around campus.
Yep.
You got like you probably have practice or weights. You got treatment. So stuff like that kind of you just have to go out your own way to like really meet new people. But there's a
Yeah.
lot of great black people at SC.
Yeah. And I feel like because of our time restriction, a lot of people just have these college stories of, oh, like we just ran into each other, or it's all these friendships by chance. But I feel like for us, we do have to get involved and we have to go to these organizations, go to these events, go to these functions, go and support, this event. So yeah, I think it's hard for us because one, we're already tired,
Yeah.
like we're mentally, physically, emotionally tired. And it's like, do I really even have time to get dressed up and meet somebody, to have someone talk in my face when all I could think about is how, I got this going on at practice, coach is talking about this, I got beef with someone on the team, or, it's a lot. It's a different lifestyle
Yeah,
and
it
it's
is.
hard.
It's like a job.
Oh, it is for sure, with less pay.
Yeah, a little bit less paid, but it feels like a job, honestly. You be getting up, you got specific times, you got treatment, then you got to go straight to practice, finish practice, go to class. Then you
Yeah.
got to do some recovery after class. Now you're like, it's 6 o'clock, I want to go home and lay down.
Right.
Hit you with a, oh, student meeting tonight. You're like,
None
there's
for it.
no way I'm going. And
Yeah.
then you be like feeling bad about yourself that you didn't go. You'd be like, I could have just
Yeah.
went.
Yeah.
It'd be like that.
And I know we talked a lot about sports, but I feel like a lot of times people don't know who we really are. And like, besides your accolades on the field, I know you're a stellar athlete, but what do you want people to know about you um, besides track and field?
What do I want people to know about me? It's hard.
Yeah.
No, nah. Honestly, for me, honestly, I just want people to know like I'm a goofball. Um, I be having fun. I love music. As you can see, I have my little DJ stand over here. Um, other than track, funny. I don't know. I love food too. We can go out and eat. Uh, I like surfing. I don't know. I'm a man of many talents. I
Mm,
like to do a lot of stuff, and I kind of just like I don't like being confined to just a track athlete because like I don't like thinking about track when I come home from training. Sometimes like you can get engulfed in just thinking about what you want to do for your sport and all that. So I feel like if you don't take time away from that at any point or like have a hobby where you can just kind of like lose yourself in it, it kind of it doesn't suck, but like I feel like getting sucked into one thing for your entire day or weeks is just
yeah.
kind of like
Draining.
yeah, training for sure. It's like the total opposite of what you should be doing. Like you
Yeah.
shouldn't be thinking about track all day.
Yeah. So, what are your graduation plans? What are you doing after? Or just like, what have you been doing as a student? Like anything you want to highlight?
Yeah. Well, I finished all my major courses like last semester, so I have like 2 units right now. So I'm taking a video game class, finish it up. I have another year from COVID to come back for my grad year. So I'm finishing up grad applications probably by like the end of, I want to go end of this week, probably be like middle of next week.
Mm,
Um, Trying to get into the MSCI program for entrepreneurship, or I'm gonna do the project management. One or the other. I feel like
congrats.
MSCI
Yeah.
is better. And then what else is there? Honestly, I just been coming home, living,
All
trying
right.
to think about my future because it's really coming up. We're graduating.
Yeah. I feel like the quintessential question. Everybody, whenever, adults, what's next? What are we doing after
I
graduation?
don't know.
And it's like,
I
oh
don't-
my gosh, I'm just trying to graduate. Like,
I'm just vibing right now.
exactly. I'm just trying to get by. And that's okay too. I think, just the fact that we're here and doing it is an accomplishment in itself.
Hmm.
It's like, we don't have to exert any more pressure or, or fill up our schedule anymore, like we're already here and representing, and that in itself is great. So,
It's kind of crazy to think about, honestly, because I remember when I was a freshman,
mm,
and I remember like just specific moments in like each year, and I'm like, damn, I'm really graduating college.
wow. How do you think you transition each year? Like, who is the freshman you, sophomore you, junior year, senior you? Like, this could be really honest.
Freshman year, me was just wide eyed, learn everything. Like honestly, I was just like, I'm happy to be here. But I had an agenda. Like I was like, I need to get a scholarship, so I need to score at nationals. But like
Wow.
other than that, I think I was just like a freshman in the truest sense, like just having them freshman moments, going out, trying to be fun, have fun all those times, and just like being.
Probably getting in trouble too.
You don't hear my name often, and it don't associate with trouble.
Mm-mm.
Sophomore year, I think I kind of was like, I got, I got my ropes, got the ropes around me. I'm ready. Kind of just go forward. Um, Sophomore year was different though. It was a learning experience, honestly, for like athletically,
Yeah.
academically, and like socially. It was still coasting. I met more people. Junior year, I think was the most fun year, like academically and athletically. Like both both were like just doing great. Like I wasn't having a hard time in school. I was having fun with my friends, still making time for all my other stuff. And then COVID hit,
Mm.
so it made me grow up. Honestly, in like senior year, honestly, I felt like I came in with like a business approach almost. Like, just knock this stuff out. Let's get this done. Let's get this done.
Right.
Because I kind of know exactly how things go in a sense. Like I understand how my time frame works and works with like sports and just
Right.
living my regular life. But it kind of sucks not being able to be on campus for real.
Yeah. I mean, especially as a senior. I mean, everybody has their own little COVID college story, but especially for incoming freshmen and then exiting seniors, it's like we got robbed of that experience because I know for me, I was looking forward to it because I'm like, okay, I'm really gonna get involved this year. I'm gonna meet new people. I'm gonna do this, do that, like really just have fun with it. But you know, didn't work out.
Didn't in our favor. I'm like, I hope I get to walk the stage at least.
Right, right. It's like we put in so much work, and I feel like the thing I always told myself, like, just push through to graduation. Like this was the end goal, and now it's like I don't even get that. So
Like we don't even get the, the bells and whistles for that.
right.
I'm like, y'all lucky I'm coming back.
So knowing what you know now, like what is an advice you would give to a younger you or, an incoming track athlete or just Black Trojan in general?
I would say a few things. One is do what makes you happy because in the end, if you're doing something to make somebody else happy or like make somebody proud or whatever, it's just gonna be like if they don't give the excitement or they're not as happy as you want them to be, it feels as if like what you worked for or what you did was not necessarily fully worth it. So I would say like do what makes you happy because it's for you in a sense. Like if you
Right.
don't feel like you should be in a specific sport and you're using all your time to do it and you're not happy, do something else in a sense that will make you happy because you only go to college once for sure.
Mm,
the experiences you can miss out on or you are missing out on, they don't just keep coming back like that. So I would say that do what makes you happy, enjoy the moment, and stay in the moment of whatever it is. Like it could be in sports, it could be outside of sports. Just like I don't know how to explain it, but just stay present into what you're doing. Don't think 10 steps ahead all the time.
Hmm.
Kind of just like it kind of you always thinking ahead. I feel like you lose out on some of the moments that are happening right now.
Yeah, you do.
And then thirdly, um, get connections for sure, because college is all about connections in a sense. Like you'll know somebody from a class, and later in life they could help you in something else. Like I know a friend who had a tutor, and he was going into law school, and one of my other friends does clothing, so that he was his tutor, and now they work together in business.
Wow.
So just things like that is just like the connections you get are really like worth it.
Yeah, that's the real world. I feel like we get so caught up on, academic or athletic accolades when really, it's the people around you. Like we're all here for a reason. We need to use each other too. Not just use the athletic program or the academics they're giving us, but collectively we could, help each other. And I think that that's kind of the issue, not issue, but I feel like um, part of the disconnect in my personal experience. It's like, you know, I feel like I'm missing out on those connections to help me because I've been so wrapped up in, doing what I need to do. And I'm not, asking people for help too. I feel like even doing an interview, like, it's nerve wracking because it's like, are people really going to help me?
Yeah,
Because,
you
yeah,
honestly, you gotta ask. That's the one thing I learned. Don't hurt to ask. All the worst they can say is no.
yeah, I don't like to hear no's though.
First, you be like,
It's rough.
"So you're not gonna help me, huh? Okay, okay."
Yeah.